For being so sedentary, that's amazing. So I didn't see Supernatural's newest episode, Baby, on the express date, on the release date. I got invited out to a Halloween party, so I had to wait a few days. Anyway, I just saw it now. That is probably the best non-story, kind of like filler episode since the original 5 seasons. That episode was great. Not only was it creative, not only was it wholesome, but it still had an element which I swear the filler episodes haven't had since the original 5, which is, even though it's a filler episode, it still ties into the main story. It gives a little bit of this, kind of wonder. And that's what was so awesome about this episode. And which is so cool is how much of the story was conveyed despite being in one place. And we've seen from films like Buried or 127 Hours that you can't, as telling a story, being limited to one location can't hinder you as long as you work with it. And this episode was great. It had some fantastic dialogue between the Winchester brothers. That whole kind of who was that conversation with Sam and his dad, or the darkness, or God, or someone. That was great. This whole werepire thing, this thing was sweet. It was actually a pretty cool design, and to be honest, I actually thought that some of the action scenes, despite being limited to being inside the car, were still some of the best that we've been shown. Like, I loved that there was actual fighting in this, that the brothers didn't get knocked out by one little thing, and this was some pretty brutal stuff, and there was some pretty good humor amongst all the brutality of it all. And the episode just flowed so well, and I loved that, if I'm correct, it looks like they did anyway, that most of the shots of them driving were actually done in a car while driving. They really, really well faked green screened that. And it was some great shots of BC. I actually recognized a few streets of where they were. And no, this episode was really good. If I had one complaint at all, there's a certain scene where someone is being completely obviously evil to Dean, and Dean just is like, he's looking straight at her, he's like, whatever, he turns around, and then obvious capture. That was dumb. That was like, okay, come on, Dean, how did you not know this person was crazy cuckoo? But that's it. That's my only complaint at all throughout this entire episode. The rest of it was so freaking good. The whole episode just flowed so well, and there was so much natural emotion, natural dialogue to it. And it also brought back some great memories of Swan Song, with the beginning of that episode talking about the creation of the Impala. And this was a great fan service episode without intentionally being it. It did it subtly. Not like the 200th episode was great, but it was so hammered with fan service. It felt real, and that's what I have to say that I've missed in this show, is the sense of realism and natural dialogue. Now, some people could say there's a lot of filler dialogue, when obviously the whole point of the story is them getting to this one place. We always skip that. We always get from, there's a case, then they arrive. We got to see them on the way there. And like I said, I liked this episode so much, and because the entire episode took place in the car. And I thought it was great. There's a lot of really good humor, a lot of really good effects. Like the fighting, the blood effects were great, and the episode started out amazing too. So in the end, I'm giving this episode a 7 out of 7. This was a great episode. I could watch this episode over and over, and I would still love the humor, I would still love the jokes, I would still love how the story played out. And I like that we got a little bit of dips more into kind of what everyone else is doing with the darkness, and then this mysterious conversation with John, or maybe John, or whoever John, but it's not him, it's someone else. But I thought it was great. I think this episode is the best one of the season so far, and that's fantastic when you're only, 4 episodes in? So, good job, Supernatural. I'm proud of you, and I can't wait to see the next episode.